Okay, Nelson Bitswambi is my name. Welcome to Shareability Uganda e-learning. In today's video, we shall be able to look at naming anchors and finding the unknown values. When you are given an angle and they tell you to name the anchors or find the unknowns of those angles. First of all, you shall be able to understand what these anchors means and how do they come from. When you are given the unknown in an angle, how do you solve it? This is also a continuation on our topic on geometry, which includes shapes, which includes the different kinds of shape and how can solve their areas, how can solve their perimeters in that way. Let's get started as we handle these problems. Okay. First of all, we shall understand the meaning of an angle. To your concept, what comes to your mind when they talk about angles in geometry? What comes to your mind when they talk about angles in geometry? Good, that is a good idea. Angles, these are a form of geometric shapes that is constructed by joining two rays to each other. Okay, they are forms of geometric shapes that is constructed by joining two rays. This could give an experience, especially when you are dealing with the compass, the protractors. In that way, you join the rays together to form an anchor. So here we shall be looking at anchors. We see the various types of these anchors when you are given an unknown, how each behave and how we solve a certain unknown when you are given a certain type of an anchor. So let's get started and see what are these various categories of these anchors. One, we have what we call the acute angles. Okay, we have what we call the acute angles. The acute angles, let me point out something as you see here. We have what we call acute angles. When you talk about the acute angles, these are angles that that lies or start from 0 up to 90. Okay, they start from 0 up to 90. So here we can say for this they start from 0 degrees then to what, then to 90 degrees. Okay, so when you are dealing with these angles they come from a concept of having the circle itself, where we looked at a circle, that when you look at this circle here, inside it has a point, and when you do rotate from the first point, let me assume from here, from the first point to the end where you started, it forms out a 360 degrees. So these angles are drawn and valued according to a circle. That you draw an angle, and when that angle is of a certain degree, then you can be able to name it this. For example, we have named our acute angles and say that these are angles that start from 0 degree up to 90 up to 90 degrees. So we can call those acute angles. Then you also have what you call the right angles. Have what we call the right angles. That the right angles they start exactly from 0 degree to from 0 degrees from 0 degree to 90, 0 degrees to 90 degrees. Okay, so we also have what we call uh, obtuse angles, and these obtuse angles they lie between 90 to 180. Obtuse angles lie between 90 degrees 90 degrees to 180 degrees. And we also have what we call the straight angles. Straight angles. Also the straight angles, these are the exactly from 0 or exactly to 180 degrees. These are exactly what? Angles of 180 what? 180 degrees. Then we also have what we call the reflex angles. Reflex angles. These are angles between 180. The angles between 180 degrees, uh, but less than these angles are less than 360 degrees. That is forming up the whole the whole circle. So basing on the type of these angles, it gives us a solution of how we can solve the unknowns, especially when you are given. For example, if an angle is uh, if an angle has the characteristics or the variation of a straight angle, that means when you are finding the unknown of that angle, we shall be equating it, or that angle shall be equal to 180. If the angle is in the form of a reflex angle, we shall not equate it to 180, but we shall equate it to 360. When we have an angle that is in the form of a right angle, we shall equate that angle to 90 degrees, or we shall say that angle is equal to the 90 degrees for us to find the unknown. Okay, also when it comes to acute angles, if you see an angle is in the form of these acute angles, you should be able to equate it to 90 degrees. Okay, so this circle, the whole of it stands for 360 what? 360 degrees. Let's look at how we can solve these various categories and how we can identify them by their forms, okay? And we solve the unknown when given. Okay, we shall be having the various types of these angles also. We have right angles or these complementary angles of only what? Of only two angles, okay? Also the straight angles or the supplementary angles, finding their values of what? Their values of x. Okay, now you can look at this angle which has been given as our example here. When you look at this angle, depending on the forms that we have explained above, where does this angle of ours lies? Where does this angle of ours lies? We named this as acute angles. These are right angles, obtuse, straight angles, and reflex angles. So when you look at this problem, where does this angle of ours lie? Okay, when you look at that angle very well, it is lying in this right what? A right angle, okay? A right angle. This is where it lies. It is in the form of what? Of a right angle, which is given. But remember here, I've been given this angle here. We have a 40 and we have another angle which is x. Now, since this angle of ours uh, in in the right angle, and we said right angles, the they exactly start from 0 up to 90. That means in solving the value that is missing, or the unknown value which is missing, we shall be able to equate our right angle triangle here, our right angle here given, and equate it to 90. Okay, because it is in the form of what? In the form of 90. So here I shall be able to say and add these angles, the angle given and the unknown, and we equate it to 90. This is how they made it. They were saying the angle which is given was 40 degrees. Okay, 40 degrees. Then plus the angle which is the unknown, which has been given the value of x. This shall be equal to 90 degrees. Why 90? Because it is a right angle. It is a right angle which starts from 0 to 90 degrees. So we shall be able now to get our value of x um, as 40 as 40 our value of x shall be equal to 40. Okay, our value of x shall be equal to we get our 40 degrees, then we subtract it from the 90. Here then we shall be able to say our 40. Okay, our 40 minus our 40, okay, is big equal to 90. Okay, 90 minus 90 minus 40. Please, this will be all in degrees. Okay, so we shall be having our x as what is 90 minus 40? We shall be able to get our what? Our 50 degrees. So we shall be having the value of our x as 50 degrees. Also, when you look at another example given here, this angle of ours also lie in the right angles, where our right angle starts from 0 up to 90. So we shall be able to say our p here, which is the unknown, plus the 70 which is given, is equal to 90. We say our p plus 70 minus 70 is equal to 90 minus 70. This 70, when it is a positive value and it crosses the equal sign, it becomes to a minus. So this 70 remains 0. Then we get 90 minus 70. So we shall be able to get our answers 20 degrees. So specifically, that's how we can find the missing values when given a certain angle. Let's look at how we can solve another category of missing value when you are given a certain type of an angle. Okay, for example, also going to deal with straight angles or supplementary of any two angles. So here we can look at the types of angles that are given. It is totally different from this right angle that we have solved. So that means we shall be able to look at that angle lies in which category. Is it an obtuse angle? Does it lie in the straight angles, or does it lie in the reflex angles, or does it lie in the acute angles? We shall see this where that angle lies, such that we can now be able to equate it to the right angle. Okay, let's see where this angle lies. This angle lies. We can see this angle is lying in between our straight angles. Okay, our straight angles. But we said that our straight angles exactly starts from 0 up to 180 degrees. So that means we shall be able to equate our angle given here to 180 what degrees. So we shall be able to say the unknown value, which is p, that is given, then plus the given angle, which is 60 degrees, then we shall be able to equate it up to 180. Why? Because our angle that is given lies between the straight angles that starts from 0 to 180 degrees. So you shall be able to say our angle, which is P, plus the 60 which is given, is equal to 180. Then we say our P will be equal to 180 minus 60. Okay, then we shall be able to get our angle P as 120. As simple as that. Okay, let's look at another example also which has been given. I also have this angle here. Also, when you look at these angles, you can see where it lies. Does it lie to the obtuse angles, or does it lie to the reflex angles, or it lies to the straight angles? It is similar to the one that we have done above, that lies to the right angles. And we say the right angles are equated from 0 up to 180 degrees. That means we shall use the same concept that we used up here. So we shall get our unknown value, which is m, plus the given value, or the given angle, which is 45, which are going to be equated to 180 degrees. So you say m plus 45, then minus 45 is equal to 180 minus 45. So this one cancels. Okay, this one cancels, and we remain with m is equal to 180 degrees minus 45 degrees. So our answer shall be equal to m is equal to 135 degrees. Okay, so if we had been given another example here, if we are given another example, assuming we are given another example like this, okay, and they tell you to have that is our angle, and they tell you to find this. Let me assume this is our 30 degrees. If this is our 30 degrees, and they tell you from here, this is our s degrees, and they tell you find the value of s degrees. So here we shall look at this angle. Where does it lie? Does it lie to the right angle triangles? Does it lie to the reflex angles? Where does it lie? It lies to the reflex what? Reflex angles. And we say the reflex angles lies between 180 to 360. Okay, they are greater than 180 but less than 360. Okay, they are greater than 180 degrees, but less than, okay, they are less than 360. Okay, so we shall value our angle to be in the form of this. Okay, they shall be in the form of what? In the form of this. So we can solve this solution. We can solve this solution by saying what is this? We have our s. So our s shall be equal to our s, then plus the 30 degrees, and we shall be able to equate it to our 360. Okay, our 360 degrees. Okay, 360 degrees, and then we shall be able to say our s will be equal to our 360 degrees, then minus our 30 degrees. Okay, will be equal to our 30 what? Our 30 degrees. So our s will be equal to, what is 360 minus 3 minus 30? We shall be able to get our 330 degrees. Okay, so as they said, that this is the angle, this angle are greater than what? They are greater than 180, but less than 360. So we have been able to get a value which is greater than 180, but it is also less than 360. Possibly that's how we can find angles, and how we can solve the unknown values of these angles. Okay, so I hope everyone has been able to pick something, has been able to understand something. So for this, I do say thank you very much. Please be able to check out on our playlist, like and subscribe, for you to get the more upcoming lessons and videos. Also, you can be able to join our Google Classroom, for you to get the notes uh, of this that were presented. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good moment.